All right, we're ready to begin with Vanderbilt. Reminder, the locker room is open, and also video is not permitted in the interview area. If you need video, you can secure it at the video distribution down the hall on the left. So we'll ask Coach Stackhouse for some general comments on the game, take questions for the two student athletes, excuse them, and then we'll finish up with Coach. So, Coach, would you begin?
Well, I thought that was a great game tonight. Again, our guys came out and set the tone early. I thought they played last night. We wanted to come out and bring a lot of pace to the game. I thought we brought that. We were physical, and we moved the ball and we shared the ball, and we were able to get a little separation early. We knew that they were going to battle back. That's a tough team. Got a lot of size. KJ Williams is a load, but I thought our guys competed for 40 minutes, and that's how we secured the win.
All right, if you have a question for either of the student athletes, raise your hand and we'll get one of the remote mics to you. Raise your hand. Any questions? Okay, let's start on the right, on the end.
For both of you guys, after what happened in Baton Rouge a few weeks ago, was there anything extra? Does it feel extra good to beat LSU after that?
Jordan, would you take that first?
Yeah, for sure. They ended our streak. We had a 5-game winning streak. We wanted to extend that. It could have been 9 or 10 here, but, it's a tournament game. It's what we're playing for. We're playing to keep our hopes alive to make it to the tournament. This is our goal. So they were just in the way. We didn't want to put any added pressure on ourselves to just go by who the team was playing, but just to go out here and win and accomplish our goal of winning this tournament.
And same for Ezra.
Yeah, I just agree with everything he said. We felt like we owed him one, and we just wanted to come out here and play aggressive, play our game, and just be us.
Raise your hand if you have a question for either. All right, let's go to the far left.
Jordan, you had 15 rebounds tonight without Liam. How important was it for you to get those boards, and how big of a role have you taken on under the basket?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the last 2 games we got pounded on the glass, so I wanted to come out and make sure tonight that wasn't the case. Just trying to do my part, put on whatever hat is needed for this team so for us to be successful, and tonight it was rebounding, so I just keep that going for us.
Raise your hand. Other questions? All right, let's come to the front row.
Yeah, for both players, you guys lost Liam at Kentucky and still won that game. I wonder how much confidence that gives you going into tomorrow night.
Ezra, would you go first?
Yeah, it just gives us a lot of confidence. We know Liam was a big piece to our team, but we know how many pieces we have. We know QMB and Lee Dort are dominant forces, and they do little things that help us win. So we're pretty confident. We're confident against any team, so we're just going to go out there and play our game.
And Jordan?
Yeah, I agree with what he said. Liam, with the presence that he brought for us was great, but QMB has stepped up and really kind of taken advantage of this increased role that he's seen, and getting Lee Dort back was also a huge role. So we definitely miss Liam, but we're going to play with the guys that we have and go forward and try to win games.
Right, question on the left side.
Jordan, with the NCAA tournament numbers and everything, I mean, how much are you guys talking about that, studying it, looking at it, and saying if this happens, that happens? Are you trying not to do that?
Our goal is to win this tournament. Wherever that lies, whatever happens after that, we get an automatic bid if we win the tournament. So that's what we're looking forward to. That's our goal. We don't really get into this, who this team loses, that team wins. We just want to go out and win this tournament.
Question on the right side.
Ezra, I know Paul Lewis is a guy you've worked with a lot throughout the offseason, and I'm sure during the season too. What have you seen from him recently?
Man, his growth, just being comfortable in the game. I'm sure you guys can see it, man. What do you have, like 11 points tonight? He's just confident. He's a hooper. I mean, that's all you can really say about him. He goes out and competes. So we love Paul Lewis, and he's getting better day by day.
Raise your hand if you have another question for either student athletes. All right, let's go to the back on the left.
What it mean to you two to do it in Nashville, do it in front of the students tonight?
It's incredible. It's a great feeling. It felt like we were at home tonight. The gym was loud. We had a lot of fans here. The students were great. They gave us a lot of energy, especially late when they kind of went on the run, especially early in the second half. It's great having it back in Nashville. We had it last year in Tampa, kind of missed that home feeling aspect of it, but the students were great. We really appreciate them coming out as well as the fans.
Got time for one more question? Anyone? All right, we'll excuse the student athletes. You can return to the locker room. And we'll continue on with questions for Coach Stackhouse. So raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone to you. Let's start on the right side.
Jordan mentioned the rebounding struggles in the last 2 games, and obviously tonight it was a lot better. what you see from your bigs and even Jordan on the glass?
I just thought it was a conscious effort for everybody. I mean, I think you had Q had 5, Tyron had 5. Our guards really have to help out. Ez had 3, and Jordan was just he was all over the boards. I mean, I thought he was good on the offensive board as well, having 3, and then 12 big defensive boards. I mean, he's capable of doing that. I mean, he's wear a lot of hats for us, and I think he's, when he's not focusing on scoring or assisting or anything, just playing the game. I mean, you don't really have to call a lot of plays for Jordan. He's a guy that's just going to find a way to make things happen, and he's been doing that in a positive light, for the last 4 or 5 games. So he's on a good stretch right now.
All right, raise your hand if you have a question for Coach Stackhouse. Okay, let's go to the second row on the left, then we'll come down to the front row.
After KJ Williams did what he did in the first matchup, did you approach him any differently this time, especially without Liam?
Yeah, we did change our matchup on him a little bit. We used more of our 4-man on him. Those guys that know how to show out a little bit more. Our 5-men normally play in covers, but I thought Q did a good job. They're guarding him for a stretch as well. But no, he's a tough cover. A guy that has that type of size. He's comfortable on the block. He can post up, and I think the coach uses him in a number of ways that makes it difficult to prepare for him. And he's a good rebounder as well. They had 5 offensive rebounds a night. So I know he's his college career coming to the end, but he had a great career, and he had a great season this year for his team.
All right, front row on the left.
Stack, how unique is it to play Kentucky so soon after playing them last time, and do you think there's any advantage for either side in the fact that you know them so well?
Well, I think that we're both going to be prepared. I mean, we played each other a number of times over the years. We kind of know some of what they're going to do. They know what we're going to do. So it's going to be a battle of competitors. I mean, guys got to come out and perform. It's not going to be any tricks to where we're going to come out with some miracle game plan that we're going to beat them with, or they're going to come to some miracle game plan to beat us with. It's just going to be, 2 teams that have to compete. You got to come out and make plays, make shots, defend. Obviously, Oscar presents a load for it, but we had a load tonight. We dealt with a load a few games ago. So we know what we're dealing with there, and we just got to come out and battle and compete, and we'll feel good about that if we come out and do those things.
All right, next question on the front row on the end.
Yeah, Coach, when you guys beat Kentucky at Rupp, you spoke briefly about your relationship with Cal, admiration for him. What if you could just elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, no, I think a lot of it is just the respect for his longevity, his tenure. I mean, he's one of those guys. I mean, I watched the 30-30 on him, and then I think it just kind of saw how, how he battled, and how he cares about his players, cares about it, his guys, and kind of changed my perspective on him a little bit, just from watching that, digging a little deeper in it. You just kind of see, and you hear noise all the time about people, but until you kind of dig deep and kind of pull the layers back a little bit, and I think that. That was fun to see. I mean, I kind of felt like I was in his shoes a little bit when he was playing Chaney and those guys and trying to beat them. You know what I'm saying? And he kicked our ass for quite a few times, and we finally got a chance to knock him off. So I mean, I think that and I saw some parallels there. So it's just when I saw him this summer, we were out recruiting, and I just made my way over to him. I think he was getting in the car, and I just told him that. I really respected it. I watched that 30-30 and had another level of respect for him after, really not just seeing Cal and Kentucky and all of this and that, and they're the kings of the SEC and all of that, but able to see who he is, how he cares about his players, and and saw some parallels there.
All right, next question in the front.
Coach Stackhouse, last game Kentucky played without their point guard, Casey Wallace. They also did that a lot of the second half against you guys. Is there a special way you prepare when there's a little uncertainty of the kind of lineups they're going to run, or did it maybe help you that you kind of got a half with him and a half without him as you go forward playing for Kentucky?
Well, no, I think they got a talented team. Again, they throughout their roster. That talent has never been an issue. So I mean, I think there was other guys that stepped up. The very next game they went out and I think they beat Arkansas with. Reeves had a big game. We were able to contain Reeves a little bit, in our game. But we know what he's capable of, and we're going to get a lot of attention as well. So it's just again, we know Wallace back or whoever. We don't worry about who that is. We just got to figure out. We know that we got to compete and we have to play well and we have to pay attention to our game plan and execute our assignments on both ends of the floor to give ourselves the best chance to win. If we do that, then we feel like we can beat anybody.
Any other questions for Coach? Raise your hand. All right, let's go back to the front row.
I was just curious about Ezra. I've seen him play 3 times now. I'm not sure there's anybody in the country who can stay in front of him. I wonder how disruptive he is and what kind of issues he creates.
No, I mean, I think it starts on the defensive end. He really initiates our defense from the pressure that he puts on the ball, his ability to get through screens and get under screens, and it helps our bigs out tremendously. But he's just a great kid. He's just a great person. That I'm glad that he's one of the leaders of our team. And like I said, how he talks about Paul Lewis and how he's helped Paul Lewis tremendously this year. I mean, having to go up against that every day, that type of speed and that type of tenacity on the defensive end. Has really improved his game and give him the confidence to come out and get 11 points in his first SEC game. So I think you can attribute a lot of that to not just to Edge, but to all of our older guys. They've been around. They understand what it's about to be a part of this program, be a part of this system, and they're really the gatekeepers of the program.
We have time for one more question for Coach. Anyone? All right, last question on the right.
Tyron Lawrence shot 6 of 7 from the field tonight, had 22 points. How excited does it make you to see that out of a guy you have such a good relationship with, and how does that make you feel about the future of your backcourt?
No, I think it was great. Tyron was aggressive coming downhill. Shooting the basketball, getting to the free throw line. That's what he needed to do. I thought he was really good defensively too. He was a key matchup against Miller tonight, and Miller was 0 for 9, 0 for 6 from 3. So I thought he brought it on both ends. Like you said, he's just, he's special when he's able to get downhill, when he's focused, and not only to make plays for himself, but makes plays for his teammates as well. So hopefully we can just, get our rest and come back and come back with the same urgency. I think that's the key. That's what I always talk about Jordan with, urgency. Him and Tyron playing with urgency. And when they do that, then it just feeds the other guys. It always has urgency. So it's just when those three are all clicking on the same system, on the same cylinders, then everybody kind of picks up their game.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.